Greetings everybody, it's Base6286 and I'm back with more Etrian Odyssey. Yes! Oh man, I don't think you guys fully understand how excited I am to be playing this game. Like, seriously. So much fun. I don't even know why I enjoy this game so much, I just do. Anyways, in this episode we're going to be finishing off the rest of the first floor, at least what we can get of the first floor, and we're going to head into the second floor and see what we can explore there. So yeah, a good rule of thumb for this game, just based on how it works, you want to be, before you go into a new floor, you probably want to be about 3 levels higher than you were on the previous floor. Or another way of putting that is every floor you get, how to say this right? Pretty much like every floor, if you level up, if you gain about 3 levels on per floor, you'll be good level-wise, roughly. So like, the first floor you start at 1, the second floor you should probably be about level 4 when you head to it, the third floor you're going to want to be about level 7 or 8, and so on and so forth. And if you kind of stick to that rule of thumb, you should be pretty good. Things get a little disrupted as you move from between stratums, which we'll get into when we get there. That's not for a while yet, but yeah, a general rule of thumb is grind about 3 levels on a floor before moving on to the next one. Which, honestly, if you spend your time exploring the floors pretty thoroughly, that really shouldn't be too much of a problem. If you know, take your time and do the stuff, then you should be fine. Just don't blaze through floors. That's always a bad idea, because then you're gonna get to the next floor and just get screwed over probably. Because enemies do change every floor. You'll find some recurring ones, kind of. There'll be a few, you know, enemies that you'll see throughout an entire stratum or something. But generally each floor has a new set of enemies. And just to clear up, a stratum is a set of 5 floors, and usually one stratum will have a certain theme to it. So we're in the first stratum now, which is called the Emerald Grove, and you'll notice this place is very green and very kind of cheerful and just, you know, nothing too crazy about it. A general, you know, standard first area. So, and I should start focusing on what I'm doing and finish these guys off here. You also notice that we've gained some levels, so we're surviving a little better down here in the labyrinth, which is always nice. Oh man. I guess I can talk about this now. You'll notice that, if I push, is it this? Yeah, here we go. We have a little icon here on myself next to the head. Basically what's happened is the woodfly has bound my head, which binding means that you can't use skills basically related to that part of your body, and usually it limits some kind of attribute that's related to that part of your body. So, for example, head binding, I wouldn't be able to do anything that requires spoken word. So, kind of like silence. If an alchemist had their head bound, they wouldn't be able to use their spells. And also, when your head is bound, your eyes are affected, so you have lower accuracy when you're attacking physically. So, that bindings can be very annoying sometimes. Sometimes they're just whatever. Sometimes, though, they can really just screw you over. We shouldn't have to worry too much about them at this point in the game, though. As you continue into the forest, you reach a clearing. Squarish boxes are lined up before you. It's possible they were left by fellow explorers of the labyrinth. Then, too, they may be part of the treasure rumored to litter the labyrinth. The boxes sit ready to be opened, offering no clues to their nature. Well, there you go. That was a very cool and fancy way of saying, we found a bunch of treasure, heck yeah! And a battle, apparently. And with more of the same. Pretty soon we're going to start cutting out battles from the first floor here. So, again, I think I mentioned it, but as long as we're on a new floor, I'll generally be keeping battles in, and once we clear that floor, I'll edit the battles out unless there's a reason to keep them in or something. But also, if we're hanging around a floor for a really long time, and we've clearly seen all we have to see from the enemies or whatever, then I'll probably start cutting battles out. Regardless, even though we haven't made it to a new floor, so. Let's open this up. Large box stands before you. Yes. Oh, and Scramasax. You'll notice that item and weapon names are very crazy in this game, but that's a sword. We actually already have one. We bought one from Shilika, or like in the very beginning of the game. A Medica 2, nice healing item there. And let's do this and this, and I think I'm actually gonna heal my characters because yes, this is happening. We don't want Jaichi dying again. All right, one more treasure here. And, alright, 200 N, cool. And I think the rest of the room looks something like that. Square it off. We don't need to step on all of the squares. Oh man, more moles. Let's divvy it up like so. That. Alright. Should be good to go. Oh man, why is everyone picking on Jaichi? I don't know why. Generally, the enemies in this game don't have any real in-depth, I guess you could say programming or whatever to decide who they attack in the party. I believe the front row gets priority. Characters in the front row there's a far greater chance of them being targeted than the characters in the back row. And, so yeah, I mean, I don't know. That's that, I suppose. I don't know why they're targeting Jaichi more than myself. I guess they just like his long, flowing hair. That seems logical. Alright, well, we finished off this floor, so I'm probably going to start cutting out battles here since we basically explored the whole place. And we want to make it down to those stairs. Alright, I was hoping I could get Jaichi to level up in that battle, but no dice. I guess we'll just deal with the skill points from everyone else, though, while we're at it. So let's see, we want more defense for me. Get Flee, Parry, and Fortify. Okay, Fortify is what we're going to be looking at next for myself. Jaichi, blah, blah. Let's see, we want more poison. There we go, yeah. Poison, it doesn't do direct damage like fire does. It's what you'd expect, really. It poisons the enemies. However, it can be very powerful, so yeah. In the beginning of the game, because it does a set amount of damage, whereas things like fire require, you know, it's put up against foes' magic defense or whatnot. But poison just does set damage. And the higher the level, the more the set damage is. So, I mean, even though we're at a low level, you can have your poison damage be really high, which, you know, obviously that's kind of awesome at this point. We're going to hold off on healing. I didn't really want to put points into Cure yet for Lomani. I probably should have held off for a level, but oh well. Oh, what do we have here? It looks like we've got another door. And a Mysterious Crystal. Alright. Well, we'll put another little, no, not a stair, we want a memo. Just to note that this is a clear. I'll just put clear, that should be fine. That way I just have quick reference to it. And Jaichi is all cut up on levels and also needs to be healed again. So let's do that. Alright, and what are we putting? I think we're getting Trickery for you. Yeah. Let's see. Multi-hit is also something we're going to be going after pretty soon here. But we're gonna get a first turn first. That sounds weird for some reason. First turn is a very useful skill for survivalists. If you have them in your active party, I definitely recommend getting it unless you have some other plans for them or something. But yeah, first turn is very useful, oh god. Okay, I think you can survive. We'll do this. You need to kill this thing right now. Okay. Oh crap. I think I killed the claw bug before it killed me. Those things can do lots of damage. I was worried that I wouldn't survive an attack from one, even though I do have more defense than the rest of the group right now. I'll note, from myself, the Protector class, I've been mainly going after the skill Smite, but another good skill to go after at this point in the game would be Front Guard. I might go after it and get that skill later, but for now I'm not going to worry too much about it. So, as you can see, on this bottom floor of the map here, there is nothing here. This is going in the trash. So this is, I'll zoom out again. This is essentially how your maps usually start, is you just get a blank page and you have to fill everything in. No more of that hand holding. So let's see here. We have a path going down. We'll mark that. And it looked like there's a path continuing to our, well, that way. That other way. Though it's a dead end. Oh, there's something we can check. Sure. As you continue into the brush, a noise ahead draws your attention. An intermittent sound is coming from the brush. Something seems to be inside the tall grass before you. You peer futilely into it, wondering whether to chance it or leave the sound alone. Let's take a chance. As a party leader, Base pushed back the tall grass with his hands. Suddenly, Base felt a sharp pain on his hand. The noise seems to have come from a small snake. After biting Base's outstretched hand, it slithered off into the forest. And I lost 5 HP. You pull yourselves together and continue on the adventure. Well, crap. Looks like I'm gonna have to heal myself. Yeah. And that happens sometimes. And with this, we're out of TP. So, oh shoot. Well, I guess this is a good point to leave this floor. And I'm not going to worry about using a warp wire. We can probably make it out without one. You could use one if you're really hurting, but I think we'll be able to make it to the stairs with only maybe one battle. Of course, that one battle is a bunch of moles, and Nikki is currently out of enough TP to use any of her spells. Luckily, we escaped right away, so... Alright, let's head back up here, and how much time do we have? Okay, to end off the episode, now that we've touched down on the second floor and kind of seen that, we want to head into the pub for the first time. Etria's finest ales. Ahoy, kiddos! You're the newly licensed adventurers I heard about from the Rada, aren't you? Here at the Golden Deer, I hear all sorts of problems that only adventurers can solve. Gathering materials, wiping out monsters, you name it, I hear someone sobbing about it. And when I do, I pass the requests on to kids like you. You're welcome to take them on. Adventures can blah 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 blah. So this is basically a mission aspect, or a little quest aspect, really. If you notice, we can go into the quests section, and there's a whole bunch of stuff we can do now. You get new quests every time you touch down on a new floor of the labyrinth. So when we were on the first floor, there wasn't really anything to do. But now that we've touch down on the second floor, and again, you don't actually have to explore the second floor, you just have to reach the second floor. Like, take the stairs down, hit the second floor, and then you could warp out and you'd get new quests to take. And they usually deal with previous floors, so this is all more or less stuff on the first floor that we're going to be dealing with. But judging on our time, I think I'm going to leave talking about quests in more detail for another episode. So I'm going to leave it off here in the pub with another awesome character here, and hopefully you guys enjoyed this, and I'll see you next time.